Happy New Year, everybody. It's the Squares of the Round Table podcast. And we're just here to wish you a Happy New Year. Really quick little thing we're doing. I don't even want to number this episode. I think we're just going to make it the New Year's extravaganza.
82A.
Yeah, 81.5.
Well, I already had 82, so it'd have to be 82.5.
That's right. We had 82?
Yeah.
I thought we were at 81. I'll have to check numbers. I don't know. Anyway, with me, it's Scott!
Howdy. Happy New Year's to everybody.
Yeah. Happy winter holidays to everyone. To your non-denominational. Today, that we are recording today, the last day of Hanukkah. We are also, I think, in the celebration of Kwanzaa, if you were into that. Thanks for listening, and a joyous celebration to you. I had a wonderful Christmas. I ate a lot. So after tomorrow, I am going to stop eating. And get off this terrible caffeinated beverage that I'm so addicted to.
Good luck with that one.
Yeah. I said just the month of January.
I'm not being sarcastic about it. One who drinks about a 2 liter to 2.5 liter of soda a day. You know, I'm serious with the good luck on that one. By the way, you're right. It was the Naked Top Gun was episode 81, so this is 81.5. So yeah, that's actually hard to do. Is, you know.
Well, caffeine. I don't drink caffeine. I can drink caffeine and go to sleep. I mean, I just drink caffeine to stop me from getting the caffeine withdrawal headache.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
like I said, I go through. As a matter of fact, I have a 2 liter sitting on my desk and another 2 liter sitting up on my file cabinet just as a backup.
What's your preferred beverage in
Coca-Cola.
Caffeine? Coke? Yeah, I'm Pepsi. I mean, I'll drink either one. But if I had to choose, I'll take Pepsi. That's just me. I mean, I like to drink Coke out of the little glass bottles at Christmas time. It's kind of a tradition that I adopted while I was with Ivan at the radio station. We would clink the bottles and open our presents on the air, which didn't sound like a good idea, but we were being very descriptive as to the shape and what our gifts were on the air at Christmas time. That's one of the things I miss about the radio station is opening presents on the air. That was me and Ivan exchanged our gifts on the radio. That was super cool.
Yeah, that definitely sounds cool. Yeah. Definitely sounds cool. And you know, Ivan, he's very festive, shall we say?
No, I don't know. I mean, he doesn't. From what I gather, especially in the recent years, I don't think he likes to play Christmas music. I don't think he's a big fan of it.
He's not of the music, but as far as things like the lights and getting into like Santa Claus. And,
you see, he shaved off his Santa beard.
Yeah.
Now he looks like he's 15 again.
Not quite.
Well, getting there, closer. Well, mentally.
Well, he's that. But Daddy, I don't want to grow up. But, no, I someplace around him. Once I get through going through my room and things, I have a whole bunch of. I have not a whole bunch, but a few pictures from back around that era. Not so much when he was 16, but more when we were like around 23, 24, 25. Mm-hmm. And he. Let's put it this way. At that age, he could hide behind a toothpick. Yeah,
he used to be a slender young man.
Yes, he did. Well, so did I.
A couple of his teenage pictures. I was skinny up until about 5th or 6th grade. And then when I was like, because I could suck in my gut and you could see my rib cage, just like Joaquin Phoenix is the Joker. I mean, that was pretty gross when he was doing it as a grown-ass man. But I think my neighbors accused my parents of starving me because I was just such a skinny kid up until 5th grade. So they started feeding me. So I did kind of get a tiny belly. You know, I'm not like what you'd call portly, but I got a little gut in the front. And of course, it's been more pronounced now. So yeah, New Year's resolution. Yeah, I'm not doing the new year, new me, but I'm just got to try and lose some weight now that the holidays are over. I tried to do a diet before Thanksgiving. After Halloween, I was like, okay, I've got 3 weeks before Thanksgiving. I can lose some weight before Thanksgiving because after Thanksgiving, all bets are off. But I failed miserably, so.
Mike?
Yeah.
I actually didn't hear a word you said.
Oh.
I got a phone call from Ivan.
You did?
And he's willing to come on for a little bit.
Well, we can put him in here.
And I thought I could add him in, but it just went to him by
Okay.
myself. So
Okay, let's see if I can fit him in.
Hello.
Hey!
are we all together now?
Yeah, we're all together now.
All together now.
All
1, 2,
together now.
And we had actually started before I messed up.
That's fine.
That's okay.
So everybody, welcome Mr. Jiven Ivan Rivera.
Yay!
Yay!
Yay.
The diva of the Dusties.
Thank you.
So we're just doing a quick little New Year's wrap up here, Ivan. How was your Christmas?
Oh well, Christmas was good. Christmas Eve was spent with my family, and Julie spent Christmas with her family, and then Christmas Day, I was out and about. Saw Spies in Disguise. Wasn't too bad, and hung out over at Logan Arcade for the remainder of the night and got tanked. And let's see what else. And just was out and about doing gigs. Been kind of busy running around doing DJ things. And in fact, I did one yesterday because my friend Drew couldn't make it for the Jazz Suite, so I took the Jazz Suite over for him and did last night. And then Carissa's like, do you think you can pick up today's, pick up today? And I'm like, Monday as we're recording. I'm like, yeah, sure, I can do it. Hey, I don't mind taking somebody else's money. I'm just kidding.
So how long we got you for?
Well, at least for about half an hour, 45 minutes.
I think that'll be just enough.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you had a good Christmas, Ivan. Well wishes to you and your whole family this holiday season. And you as well, Scott.
Yes, to everybody.
Mike was just lamenting about how he kind of misses the days of when you and he used to exchange presents on the air.
Oh yeah, I mean that was our big tradition. Started back in 97, I believe.
No, I think it's more like maybe 98, 97,
Was it?
98. We weren't on the air together until 90. That's right, 96 was our first. I don't know if we started that or not. Maybe it was 97. But anyway, that's when I started buying the little glass Coke bottles.
Right. The ones with the one with the year on them every year.
Yeah.
And and that was the start of our Christmas tradition with the Coke bottles and the toast, and then we go ahead and we exchange gifts on the air. We would unwrap our presents, and we play all the Christmas songs you've never heard, which I still do that from time to time, over the years and things. And then, of course, we made 2 Christmas specials. One was called "It's a Wonderful Week," and then the other one was called, Batman and Jimmy Save Christmas, which both were written by our man over there, Mike. The master.
Is there a truck backing up in your kitchen?
No, just the microwave
Okay.
yelling.
Just a microwave. Get ready for it, Mike.
The microwave is backing up into the kitchen there, and it's saying, "I've got food."
Uh-oh, there goes Ivan.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, so we had some fun times this year in 2019, aside from the usual weekly podcast thing. I mean, that's been a thing for quite a while. But we had some fun this year, man. I just wanted to just wrap things up. I mean, I had lots of game nights, of course, with my pals. Of course, Ivan and I went to Dairy Con, and
that was great.
And we had the fall barbecue,
which was really cool too.
Yeah, you got to spin your records both days. The highlight of my year, we went to go see the Cybertronic Spree.
Yeah, that was the blast. That was really good too.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've been watching their site, right, with all of their club dates and stuff. I'm still trying to work them into seeing if they still want to come to Logan Arcade next year, this year the coming year, and so that would be a coup if we pull that one off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Just did some auto repairs. I went shooting a couple times. Did my first gun repair. That was exciting. It's like I never did.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I've had some fun times this year. And
You didn't do it half cocked, did you?
no, I did not. A couple of misfires, but
That's what she said.
that's what she said. Said that she did. I built my MP Decepticon shelf. I LED wired my entire display, and that was a fun project. Very satisfying. So yeah, the next year is going to have some fun times. We saw some great movies. I don't watch much television. Not as much as Jeff watches. I mean, he's like the TV guru.
No, he's a sofa samurai.
Yeah, indeed. But I mean, finished The Mandalorian. That was great. It's worth a month. Definitely worth 1 month of Disney Plus just to watch the 8 episodes of The Mandalorian, Ivan.
Okay.
Seriously.
Okay.
It was great.
Right,
even if you don't have to know anything about Star Wars to enjoy it.
Okay, so it works on a standalone basis, then that's good.
Yeah,
that's good. I can dig that.
Cobra Kai season 2 was great. Season 2 of Star Trek Discovery was good, and next month we're getting the start of Picard. And I'm excited about that. And season 2 of Titans, I'm almost done with season 2 of Titans, and it's better than season 1 for sure. Saw some great movies. Ivan, what were your put you on the spot here? What were your top three films of 2019 that you saw?
My top 3 films for 2019. Oh my gosh! All right, because see, being the blur that sometimes my life becomes. Sometimes I kind of mix those type of things up. Let me see if my memory works for me. I know the couple of Marvel movies that I saw this year, and then also let's see. Let me see. I also enjoyed Won't You Be My Neighbor, the documentary, which I thought was fabulous, with Mr. Rogers, which I thought was great. Then and then I just recently saw. Well, let me see.
Just your top 3.
Top 3, okay.
Or maybe an honorable mention or two.
His honorable mention is Barney Meets the Trickster.
Yeah, right up there with Eddie Murphy and Lizzo on Saturday Night Live. But
oh God, that was so funny. I mean, it was solid. Did you see that?
Yes, yeah.
That's like the best Saturday Night Live in decades. I mean, that was solid.
Yeah, I mean that's how I remember Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
Back, in like the mid, like in the 70s when it was first starting out, when everybody was on their A game, and it was just some things you just can't replicate. But Eddie pulled out all the stops.
That was great. So yeah, again, Ivan, top 3 movies.
Okay, let me see. Well, was that Black Panther? That was this year, right?
No,
I saw that.
That was 2 years ago.
That was 2 years ago. Okay, see what I'm telling you? Well,
you saw Dumbo.
Well, I saw Dumbo, which that would be.
Would that be in your top 3 this year?
That would be in my top 3. Dumbo was good. Amazingly enough,
you had low expectations for that film.
I had almost like zero expectations about it, because I'm thinking, how are they going to take a movie that was only 64 minutes long in its original animated running time and turn it into a 90-minute, vehicle, but leave it to the director to create not only a story that kept a lot of the values intact, but gave the additional story and the reshuffling of the characters and made it work. Not to mention the spectacular, special effects and the CGI and all that, which was really good. Yeah, so Dumbo was right up there.
Okay.
Let me see. What else was there? There was I saw Shazam, and
we saw Shazam before DairyCon last year. this year.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did, and that would have to be amongst my honorable mentions. I think they could have done more with that, but for what it was,
It was good. It wasn't great. It was a good superhero movie.
it was good. It was good, but it wasn't. It was. It's definitely a red box rental. Or if you get it, or if you ever want to see it again, and then let's see, Guardians of the Galaxy, was that this year? Or was that
No.
last? That was last year. Okay.
That was 2017 was Guardians 2.
Oh my gosh! See, my
Ivan's given his top 3 movies of 2017.
yeah, really. I mean, see,
Did you see
my
any
age is showing, folks. my age, my slow descent into dementia has started.
Gone with the Wind. That was a good one.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Wow, I saw that before I was born. Yeah, that's right. Anyway.
Hey, Ivan, was it that this year that we saw that movie that had the license plate of Bird Shit 1?
Oh, you're talking about
Bird Shit 1.
That was back in 1985, man.
Oh, crap. Okay.
Which to this fucking day, I can't figure out what that movie is.
Mike and Julie are going, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Did you give them the backstory of that yet?
No, but I don't think that's on an year-end review topic list because it was in 85.
Okay.
Yeah, it was in 85. So if I can't remember what happened 2 years ago, what I can remember in 85 will definitely be up to speculation. But anyway.
Did you see some of the Spider-Man movies this year, Ivan?
So that's Spice Girl. Julie's like, did you see the Spice Girl movie?
No.
I'm like, no.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Oh, no, we're just messing with you. But anyway, no, I don't think what I did. No,
Spider-Man Far From Home was this year.
Yeah, Spider-Man. No, I don't think I saw Spider-Man Far From Home this year.
That one had Mysterio.
Huh?
Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio. You didn't see that one? Okay.
No, I didn't.
It's okay.
See that.
So I guess we'll go on to. I don't think you didn't see any movies this year, Scott.
I did. As far as new movies, I did not see one. I did a couple of weeks ago. You mentioned Spaceballs, so I finally saw Spaceballs after how many years?
Yep, it's a classic. One of Mel's best.
Yes.
I would debate that personally, but okay. Young Frankenstein.
Yep, Young Frankenstein. I saw that at Fathom events right after Gene Wilder died.
Blazing Saddles.
Blazing Saddles.
Yep.
What was
Blazing
he?
Saddles.
Did he do it to Mad World, or is that somebody else?
Carl
Yes,
Reiner.
he did.
Carl. Okay, Carl Reiner. Okay.
Him and about like 60 different other great actors and actresses and comedians.
No, wait. I'm thinking of the 10,000-Year-Old Man. Oh, that's
Mad World.
Yeah, those Buddy Hackett and Mickey Rooney.
I mean, that had a ton of people.
Yeah, that was an ensemble.
Buster Keaton, Carol Channing. I mean, all over the place.
Everybody that was anybody was in that movie. Three Stooges did a walk on in that movie too.
And the only other. Sorry, Ivan.
I'm sorry. You go.
I was going to say the only other movie that I watched, and that was within the past couple of weeks, is I rewatched Patriot Games.
Okay.
With Harrison Ford?
Yeah.
Harrison Ford.
Because I with my dyslexia, I don't read much, but I did manage to read almost the entire Tom Clancy series. So, the whole Jack Ryan story. It was interesting to see what they did on screen as opposed to the book. I'm not going to go which is better. They both have their merits, but I enjoy things like that.
Okay.
Well, no, that's cool. I mean, I like to, I've always been a person that likes to see how things get translated, like how everybody's kind of bombarded the translation of Cats the theatrical play against Cats the movie, which.
Somebody described Cats the movie as cat porn.
Well, yeah, and from the looks of it, it just okay. Because one of my friends, John Abbott, known him for years. Sharon's sister, Sharon's
Okay.
brother. You know her.
Yeah, yeah.
And he did this review. He actually went to see the movie. I could have seen the movie, but I opted for Spies in Disguise instead with
Good move. Good move. Good answer. Good answer. Like I said,
Hey.
Family Feud.
with Tom Holland, which his voice acting chops are really good, and Will Smith, and Blue Sky is a very interesting animated form that they used for the CGI of that movie, which that movie there was deserving of its amazing technique. Unlike Cats, which a week after the movie's released, then they're like, everybody in the theaters, don't use that copy. Use this new one we're sending.
We're fixing the movie. Like, no, you can't fix it.
No.
You can't fix this shit.
No. $95 million went into this thing. $95 million. Can you believe it? And it was, and I think it made a return of 2.6.
Yeah, it's taken.
It was abysmal. It was abysmal.
Studio write-off.
Oh my gosh! And and of course, John mentioned they don't know who was
Ivan. When we saw the trailer months ago, we knew this was going to happen. Not this bad. I don't think it was going to premiere this bad, but it's just
we poo-pooed it when we first saw the rushes. And
everyone did.
Yeah, and I don't know if Andrew Lloyd Webber. I don't know if the years of cocaine usage finally burned a hole in his head so big that he ended up getting in cahoots with this director who thought it was a great idea to make an actual movie of Cats. Which, and it just holds true that some things that are theatrical are not meant to be translated into film.
Especially now with the high definition everything, where you see every single little flaw.
Right.
A lot of stuff that was used makeup wise or costume wise to sort of make it a little bit mysterious, now it's in full view, and like you could see the makeup lines and everything else.
Well,
and a lot of the CG in it was bad.
Yeah,
it was poorly done.
Their costumes are CGI.
Yeah, I mean,
I was watching Graham Norton, and they a clip from the Graham Norton show, and Dame Judi Dench was on there, and she said it was weird acting in front of a green screen in a green tight-fitting uniform with about 20 million reflectors on it.
Yeah, it's what you call a motion capture or mocap. Yeah.
And so the thing about that was that the after animation of like the tails and all the other things that they did with that, the fluidity of movement between the dancing and the CGI many times did not match up, and you noticed it. It was blatant.
Yeah. Well, we can go on for hours about how we knew Cats was going to suck balls. And it did. So,
yeah.
But anyway,
was that suck balls or lick balls?
Both, I think.
Marley.
My movies for 2019, obviously top of the line was Avengers Endgame. Was a good finale to an era of the superhero film. I mean, highest grossing film of all time. It had some problems, and I liked Infinity War better, but Endgame was my favorite movie of the year, followed by Toy Story 4. That one was very good. Had almost, just like I said, almost as many in the feels department as 3. I think 3 was a punch in the gut, where this one was just kind of like a mild slap in the face as far as the feels go.
Well, as far as Toy Story, if I may interject, I mean, I enjoyed Toy Story 4 too, and I think it was a wonderful cap to the whole franchise of Toy Story. And I have to say, well done, because the entire series. The entire, franchise is just consistently good, one movie right after the other. So you have to kind of give it to the guys down at Pixar to really, it seemed like they really cared about the story and how they wanted to.
It took years to make them in between.
Right. So, I mean, unlike what happened with Incredibles 2, which, took them 14 years between.
It
pictures.
did not meet my It was good. It just didn't meet my expectations as being like one of my favorite Pixar films was The Incredibles.
Well, that's because it's right up there with Shazam, which good as it may have been,
Yeah, it was just good, not fabulous, but I liked it.
Yeah. So that being said, on that behalf, yeah, and I've always liked the Toy Story franchise anyway. It's not.
I think
what's
didn't you and I see one together? Did we see two?
Yeah,
together?
we saw three together.
I thought we saw two together. I don't know.
Was it two?
Doesn't matter.
But,
And then my number 3, I picked Jojo Rabbit for my number 3. That was a really good film. Had some strong messages, and it was a good story. There's some good comedy, but like I said, it was a good story. Honorable mentions, I guess, would go to Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker, and Captain Marvel. But Star Wars, yeah, Episode 9 came out, and Jeff and I will talk more in depth about Episode 9 next week when we come back from our break. And I guess I liked Episode 9 more than Jeff, spoiler alert, so we'll find more out about that next week. But there were some good films this year. Not as great as I'd hoped, but Spider-Man Far From Home, Shazam, Joker, Terminator Dark Fate. Those are the ones that are kind of in the good category. But I don't recall seeing one that was just really, really bad. Oh yeah, I forgot about Dolomite Is My Name. That's a great film. That's great. Yeah, great for laughs.
Yeah,
great.
The Netflix movie, yeah.
Yeah, that's great. But, yeah, 2019 wasn't too bad. I had some fun times. So.
Was Secret Life of Pets 2019 or 2018?
Secret Life of Pets 2, I think, was 2019.
Okay. 2019, yeah. Okay. I did see the Secret...
That's the one newer movie that I have seen, is Secret Life of Pets.
Okay.
I saw the Secret Life of Pets. I did see that one. I thought that was good. Yeah. I thought that was really good, and but number 2 didn't draw me enough to want to go actually see it. That ended up becoming I think I'll go ahead and rent that second one when it comes out instead of seeing it in the theater.
Are you saying number 2 was crap?
No, not that it was crap, but I'm just saying that see, sometimes when you come into 2s and 3s and 4s, for sometimes something kind of gets lost between 1 and 2, and you come in with expectations because 1 was so good, and 1 and 2. Okay, I got that.
The initial comment went right over your head.
Mm-hmm.
No, but I 1 and 2, but
number 2.
Number 2. Yeah, it wasn't crappy, but definitely didn't piss me off. But
all right, enough of the toilet humor.
Okay, toilet humor. But we had was a decent year. I had a good time. Still got all my fingers and toes. Things are doing good.
Well, I mean, and I got a few things repaired this year, which I'm doing a lot better now than I was a few months ago, which I'm real happy. I'm more healthy. I'm feeling better. Things are working out a lot better. Not bad for a 59 model,
Mm-hmm.
I'm a 56 model, so you know that.
Yeah.
I think my big 3 things for this year was definitely the Elvis Costello Blondie concert.
Great.
This was my second time seeing Blondie. I saw actually Blondie at the old Chicago Stadium with Sean Anna and the Beach Boys back in the 70s.
There's a show.
Oh, that was a great show. And it was right after. It was like 2 months after the disco demolition, and I couldn't believe they let us on center field and stand in front of the stage after all that, but they did. And that was a great show. So I saw them not too far from the house here, and of course every year it's become a tradition where Sue and I go to the Dead and Company concert.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's a great time, man. I'll tell you. no matter what you do, you smoke or not, you're not leaving that stadium straight because
No.
it's like a fog bank, you know.
Kind of reminds me of the one time we went to the Regal Theater, the Regal 14 here in Chicago, and they had one of the Grateful Dead movies available. I think it was 73 or 74 if I'm not mistaken, and I had gone with my friend Allison, and a bunch of her friends showed up there, and we were literally dancing in the aisles and by the front of the screen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the place was. I mean, it was just like a Grateful Dead concert, but in a controlled area of an actual movie theater. And it was cloudy with a taste of meatballs afterwards because everybody had the munchies.
Yeah,
But
this one was held at every year they hold it at City Field, and it's about the only time you get away with smoking in the stadium, other than smoking, designated smoking areas. But I don't smoke cigarettes in the stadium area because Sue's right next to me, and she can't really be around too much smoke technically. So I went to the smoking area to do the right thing, and I second I stepped in, I get a joint shoved in my face. Hey man, Sharon's Karen. I'm like, oh, okay.
Now, Jerry Garcia's been gone for like 25 years now.
He has.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, Dead and Company is good. I mean, they nail it. They nail it.
And then
every year.
for a band that's got at least 6 or 7 different splinter groups featuring one or more of the members of the original Grateful Dead group, it's amazing. And then of course you have your also ranch, like Fish, and and some of the other newer or considerably newer bands that are kind of carrying that whole jam band tradition and such. I remember seeing my first Fish concert at Wrigley Field, and we were in the field. I mean, we were in the middle of the park. They had put the stage to one side, and so I'm sitting by home base with, all my friends from the Electric Jungle, all Allison's friends and everything. And yeah, she took me to 2 Fish concerts. We did North Bay, and then we did the one at Wrigley Field, which was really cool. Did a lot of concerts in the last few years, especially Cybertronic Spree over at Beat Kitchen, which was unbelievably good.
That was a great show.
That was, I mean, that to see the expression on your face, Mike, it was priceless. Priceless.
Yeah, it was the highlight of my year.
Well,
I mean
Ivan, you remember the last concert you and I went to?
Oh my gosh, that's okay. Remind me again, because like I said,
Night Ranger Starship.
Oh, that's right, Night Ranger Starship, 1986.
No, November 9th, 1985.
85. Was that
at 8:10 or at 7:50 in the evening? I would have met the person who has now my number one highlight of the year, who has now been with me and put up with me for 30 years.
That's right. That was the day you met Sue. That's right.
That's right.
In fact, that was at the War Memorial, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. See, some of it comes back, and I remember we went together to see that. It was a fabulous concert, and then I remember
I don't know because you were standing behind me. Because I looked over, I saw this really cute girl, and I was in a relationship that I just decided it was ended, it was over, it was gone.
Yeah, you took a look at Sue, like I'm done with this, I'm out.
Yeah. So I looked over, and I saw this really cute girl. I said, "Want to hit?" And she's like, "Yeah." And we talked and things, and I ended up throwing her up on my shoulders during Starship because nobody could see. And I was standing behind me with Sue's friend next to him.
Uh-huh.
And then Night Ranger came on, and Sue and I had our first kiss, and it lasted the entire freaking show.
All I know is that when you guys hit it off, that was the end of that.
And and yeah, it's true, because I walked Sue and her friend to their car, and Ivan was with us, and I was planning to meet Sue at this bar by where I grew up, because that's where they were planning on going afterwards. So Ivan
Okay.
decided to go home, and he said, "Well, what do I tell the thing?"
And you just
And I just said, "I don't know, tell her to fuck off," and you know. And Ivan went about his way, and I talked to Sue for a few minutes, and she got in the car and left. And I was walking down Main Street in Rochester going home, and it was snowing and blowing, and I decided I was too damn drunk and stoned to handle the car. So I decided not to go to the bar, which is a good thing, because they decided not to either. Now, I say celebrated 30 years because Sue and I were friends from 85 to when I moved to New York in 89. So
right.
30-year anniversary, highlight of the freaking year.
Yeah, man.
Great.
Yeah,
I feel sorry for
her. Well, sorry for who?
Sue.
Why?
Ivan, come on, you know me.
Oh, okay. Well, come on. Well, look. I got Julie right here, who, who's been the best thing in the last almost 5 years, and Mike will tell you of the indignities I had to endure with Soraya's mom
while you were raising your daughter. Yeah.
Yeah.
You told once we found each other again, Ivan. That was you told me some of that because you were still in that situation. You were like right at the very end of it.
Right. I was at the tail end of that whole situation. Much like you, it was just like, yeah, I've had enough.
So 2020, gentlemen, another year. This will air on New Year's Eve. We'll put this out tomorrow. It'll be New Year's Eve. So what are you all Ivan, what are you looking forward to in 2020?
2020, I am looking for more opportunities to be with my family, friends, and loved ones. More opportunities to have a whole lot more fun and to do a whole lot more things, more adventures, and just to continue to be healthy and happy, and in the hopes that we'll be back here, at the end of this, this year coming, to talk about the wonderful things that we're doing, from 2020. And of course, I have to say, kind of mischievously looking forward to January 1st, when I can go out on my back steps here and just kind of watch Chicago as it goes into a big smoky haze. There are celebrations everywhere in Logan Square. I mean,
I can imagine.
Emporium right now. Not only is it a pinball place, and it has its own stage. They do bands there. Now they're gonna have their own dispensary right on site, and they're doing the Great Emporium Smokeout tomorrow night, or December 31st. So they got the entire place ready with food trucks that are going to be coming in and out from evening until the morning.
Munchies.
Okay.
My favorite story of 2019, by the way, was the Girl Scout that set up shop right outside the dispensary in Colorado.
That was great.
That was great.
That's genius. Total genius.
Yeah, the Girl Scouts will be out in force in March. By that time, we'll have the dispensaries open in places, and yeah.
Oh my gosh, there were pictures. I saw some pictures on Shitbook, and already.
Hey, we like our followers on Shitbook, just so you know.
Oh no, I know we like our followers on Shitbook, but but you know, I
And
mean,
with all the crap going over that thing, it should be more called by like fart blast.
blast book. So
Anyway.
I saw a picture of the in the Elmwood Park dispensary, and it just and the caption of the picture read, "Getting ready for the throngs of people come January 1st." This guy had a tank. This guy had a processing tank of weed. That's probably this. It probably is probably my weight in nothing but weed.
Yeah,
in this thing.
two of my coworkers had a discussion in the break room today, and you could tell one of them really knew the ins and outs of marijuana. He's like, "Oh yeah, you got people who are growing their own, and they're selling it to the people at the dispensaries under the table, and there's." Yeah, it's like there's some illicit activity as well. You just have to be careful with some of these places where you're buying it from.
Well, I'll tell you, for Massachusetts with the vape, with like the medical vaping pens and things like that, which are now also retail. Part of the whole when they were going through the whole vaping thing with people getting sick and things, the governor of Massachusetts banned all vapes until it was and they found the medical stuff that was supposed to be checked out had the same stuff as the black market stuff that was making people sick.
And what was happening is that you had these people who were making these jewels and these vapes and everything that were loading the cartridges with actual real hard carcinogens that concentrated to a volume which that's why and nobody had really done any studies or done any research on the effects of the situation with the whole vaping situation.
Yeah, the whole vaping, I don't know. I mean, it's been a few years now that where vaping has been out in the public eye, but now with the legalization of marijuana, you got this still kind of wild, wild west out here.
But I'll tell you what, though, even though weed's going to be a couple of things with legalized weed. Right. All right. One thing is jobs still have the right to test you and fire you if you test positive for weed. It does not protect you from that.
No, you're right.
It absolutely does not. The second thing is there will always be a black market because what happens is governments, and Massachusetts is doing this too, they tax it so much. Who wants to pay 26% tax?
Well, we got a 40% tax. We have a 40% tax, dispensary tax, unless you have an actual marijuana card, medical marijuana card.
Yeah,
medical marijuana card, which brings that 40% tax down to a comfortable 7% tax. And then, of course, you could legally grow 4 plants in your own possession if you want to if you want to do it at home. And
but
of
that's
course,
only if you have the card that says you're able to use
that
medicinal purposes.
No. As far as growing plants, I might be jumping my guns here on Illinois, but I can tell you with Massachusetts, they allow you to have up to 12 plants, which I thought was like, whoa, that's a lot.
That's a lot of weed.
And you do not need a medical card for that because, it's available in a recreation
sense.
So long as you don't sell it.
Right.
As long as you don't sell it.
And the laws are in Massachusetts, you can have up to 1 ounce of marijuana at a time, and you can gift up to 1 ounce of marijuana at a time.
Okay,
but you still cannot. Now, can you not smoke it in public?
No, you cannot.
You have to be indoors.
You cannot smoke it. You cannot smoke it in Illinois in public. You can do it in the confines of where you live, out on your front porch, out in your backyard, but you can't walk down the street with it because then it'll be treated like open container beer. You know how that's
and obviously not in your car, obviously.
Not in your car.
I would check that on the front porch. I would check the law on that, Ivan, because
I did.
The front porch, because a lot of times when they mean you can't do it in public, you cannot do it in view of public.
No, but I've already checked into that, and if you have a home and you're on your property, and as long as you stay within the borders of your property, you can go ahead and smoke on your property as long as you don't, if you don't have people imbibe while they're passing by, or you don't sell it off your front porch or any of that other shit.
And I would
Yeah.
imagine that you have laws about cigarette smoking in buildings out there like we do here. And I would bet you 10 to 1 that includes smoking marijuana.
Yeah.
Well, of course. I mean, yeah.
Smoking in public places, I think Blago made that against the law.
He made that illegal years ago.
Yeah,
so, I mean, we have the 15-foot rule for any like bars and places that congregate a whole lot of people. Businesses is more businesses like buildings like we're lawyers and people gather, professional buildings. I think it's 25 feet from the doorway that if you're going to smoke cigarettes and that type of thing. There are different things, but we have no indoor smoking at all anywhere in Illinois. so
marijuana being legal in Illinois in a matter of hours now.
That puts you in a catch-22 though, because if you can't smoke in your house, and say you live in an apartment building that doesn't have a yard, so where you go right onto the public sidewalk, you can't smoke anywhere.
Well, see, because I'm going to use my example here from where I live here in my apartment. I have the stairwell, which is where my back through my back door through my kitchen. I can sit there on the steps and smoke there and not be bothered. Okay, I have a courtyard, in the front door. Not that I would do it in the courtyard because that's in full view of my neighbors. Which, not to say that my neighbors don't imbibe. Some of them do, but. But
Ivan would know. Hey, that's a familiar smell.
Yeah, I know. I mean, you walk into the gateway, it's like you're like, oh boy.
I'm hungry now.
But
I'm hungry.
I'll tell you the one thing that will change.
What's that?
When it becomes legal. I guess it's tomorrow or Thursday? Either way.
January 1, which is a matter of hours.
January 1.
Smoking at some place where it's legal is a whole different feeling than smoking at some place that's illegal. It's so great because you don't have to be paranoid about who's going to roll, what cop's going to roll up on me.
Right, exactly. Well, the feeling of liberation it's going to give a lot of people. Not to mention that 770,000 records of arrest.
Oh, Ivan?
Did we lose Ivan?
I think we lost Ivan.
That was me. I'm sorry. Oh. That was 770,000.
Start over, please.
Records of marijuana possession and such have been expunged here, in Chicago and in Illinois now. So that a lot of people, no longer have that on their records. Which, okay, so be it. And I feel that also too when you're talking about the black market weed against the dispensary weed. Will the dispensary weed be as strong as the black market weed?
I haven't gotten any from a dispensary, and I do not have a medical card. So, I couldn't tell you from what I gather, what I'm getting on the street is medical grade.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, I
would imagine that it is. The only difference is there's at least, like I said, in Massachusetts, a 26% tax on it.
Yeah, we got a 40%. Yeah. That's going to be
that's going to be something for a lot of people to celebrate during the new year. And if you imbibe, I'll tell you, it's a whole different feeling. I go up to Massachusetts. I'm on the camp property. Hopefully, I don't run into a bear. And it's just no. That's actually a literal statement, Ivan. And just stretch and relax. But I come back to New York and I'm in the privacy of my own home, and it's like, Jesus, are the neighbors going to smell it? Are they going to make phone calls? Da 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 da. So it's a whole new feeling. And to everybody who does imbibe, enjoy that feeling. Do the right thing. Don't do it in front of families. Don't do it in public.
Yeah,
Enjoy your thing. Don't force it on anybody else.
And
this discussion with my daughter Soraya. I had this discussion, and I told her years ago. I said, Soraya, if you ever decide to imbibe, if you ever want to try it or anything, come to me and we'll talk it over and we'll talk about it. We did have that discussion this year, which was kind of a breakthrough subject for us, and and you find that the taboos and the things that used to kind of taint the situation of marijuana is not as prominent now as it was maybe 20, 30 years ago. And I says, I don't going to happen. And you said, no, I mean, do you think that the world is ready for, everybody just being able to just come together and just smoke under one roof and such? And but the point of the matter is, though, looking at it from the recreational against medicinal situation, which it's helped me quite a bit in the medicinal area as far as making things a lot easier to maneuver. And right now I'm on, and I know you're on double the pain pills as I am, Scott, but
I'm not on any. I refuse to take pain pills. It was antidepressants that almost killed me in 2005 and left me with very bad legs. And that's one of my goals this year. One of my wants and hopes is to find the right doctors to fix my legs without artificial, pharmaceuticals.
Right. Well, yeah. See, because and I think, Mike, we've discussed. I think we discussed this whole situation about pharmaceuticals. How it's they tell you it's they tell you that it's so many milligrams or micrograms, but I don't think they really fill those pills up so much, because if they were able to cure you, you wouldn't be any return business. You know what I mean? The whole medicinal marijuana thing, I think has been a threat to the pharmaceutical companies for decades. Is right the reason why it's been kept down, and such. But now that it's just like what happened with the internet and how it freed everybody up in the music industry, in the artist industry, and the creative industry, where there's no need for middlemen and A&R people and palms have to be greased and all this other stuff anymore. I mean, it's a changing horizon now in a lot of ways. I'm not saying I'm not saying that if you want to smoke marijuana that you should, but to make that a decision that comes from you and you yourself alone. Okay, make it something make it a conscious decision that it's something that you want to, try and see if it is for you. Don't let people cue you in on it. Don't make it a peer pressure point or any of that. Make it something. And then, and also, I had this conversation with Soraya. She's going to be 21 in April. She's 4 months away of being an adult. So,
okay. Ivan?
Yeah.
Mike has testicle difficulties, and he needs to restart the chat.
Oh, okay.
And he's there, but he can hear us, but we can't hear him, apparently.
Oh, okay.
So he said stand by, and we'll pick it up in a moment with your Soraya's talk.
Okay. All right, sure. I'll wait.
All right, go ahead, Mike.
I see his icon on my phone.
Hello?
Yeah.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah, there you
are,
Mike.
Working?
I'm sorry. I mean, we kind of shifted it to this one side. I hope it wasn't.
No, it's okay. I have nothing to offer in that regard because I've never had marijuana. So,
which is fine. That's fine.
Which is fine.
We're glad that all of us are working now. I'm getting a popping noise in my microphone as well. So, having some kind of testicle difficulties, as you say.
I said yes. And your voice sounds a little bit, I don't know, droopy.
Yeah.
There's like I'm down an octave. All right, we need to restart. Hold on.
All right.
There's something's going on here. My voice has changed.
Oh my God, it's Morgan.
I'm gone through puberty.
Hey, Mike. Well,
you got Barry White going on, man.
You're very well. While it's like that, imitate Morgan Freeman.
Like
Or
a
James
submarine,
Earl
Mr.
Jones.
Wayne, like a submarine. Morgan Freeman.
Or James
All right.
Earl Jones.
Luke.
Mufasa.
Everything the light touches is part of your podcast now, Ivan. All right. All right. I think at this point, this is a good point. I think we need to end the show.
Too bad. We were having fun. But, okay. In that case, I want to personally wish everybody a very happy, healthy, and safe new year and continuation on through the rest of the year. If you're going to imbibe, do it responsibly, safely, and don't push it on others, and have fun.
Okay, I'm with you. I'm with you there, Scott. And also, I want to wish everyone health and happiness and many blessings, and all may all you desire become reality in this new year. And looking forward to having more adventures, more things to talk about in the future. In the future, that is the Squares of the Round Table podcast. Mike,
Happy New Year, Luke.
I am not your father.
2019 is up in smoke.
Technically, literally, and figuratively.
And on that, folks, where can they find us?
Funny you should ask. I sound like Apache Chief now.
Yeah, F Troop.
Yes.
How?
We're part of the Fagawi tribe.
Blackfoot.
We're on Instagram and Twitter at SOTRT Podcast. We're on gmail.com. SOTRT Podcast gmail.com is the address. Spotify, YouTube, Google, Apple, Anchor, Podbean. We're on Facebook. Next week, we'll have more news of the Squared. Shout out to Scott.
Scott.
Me. See, Scott has to go me instead of Scott.
Yeah, that's it. Shout out to Jeff.
Shout out to Jeff. Jeff, I'm your father. Search your feelings. You know it to be true. Next week, I'll be on helium. So.
They don't sound like this.
Happy New Year, everybody.
You know, Ivan, you've actually gotten real good at that without doing the tape deck at slow speed.
Okay. Took me 30 years to perfect it.
You ever heard the Chipmunk song at normal speed? It's disturbing.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, you should listen to the playback of what Ivan used to do at normal speed.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And after January 1, you can hear this, listen to this show while you're having a joint, and I'll sound normal.
Now, wait a minute. There's something wrong with that logic.
Yeah.
It'll all come back to you.
Oh, dear.
Have a good one.
Take care.
Happy New Year.